Hello, welcome to Here We Go. In this lesson, let's talk about the crosscut. So what is a crosscut? The basic pattern is here. The two black stones and the two white stones have cut each other. They are separated, meaning if black is to capture white, black has to capture these two white stones separately, like this. So what does that mean for us? The most basic reason for capture is to connect, which is the opposite of being cut off or separated, right? Why do we capture our opponent's stones? It's usually not because we need to capture those one or two stones to increase our territory. Usually we capture those stones to connect. If our pieces are already connected, then capturing is not that important, right? There are other ways to surround territory. The most important takeaway from this lesson is why do we capture? And the answer is connection. Next, let's see an example, right? So if we are given this pattern, how do we know what's going on? You start with these crosscut patterns. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. These are all crosscuts. And then we know that there are 3 black groups and 3 white groups, right? They're all separated and not connected, right? And that's what makes Go interesting, because both sides have to attack and defend all their groups at the same time, and that is challenging. So the next time you see a game on a full board, look for those crosscuts and figure out which groups are separated and which groups are connected, and figure out which groups are attacking each other and which groups are in danger, right? This is the starting point, the crosscut. Next, let's look at a few examples. Let's start from the upper left. So find the cutting points, right, to form crosscuts. And here for white, it'll be this one, right? Now we have a cross-cutting pattern if we place a white stone here. If we place a black stone here, then black is connected. But of course, you will observe that this D18 is also a cutting point for black. If black places here, then we have another crosscut. But as we will soon learn, if black places here, then white can easily capture this black stone. So the real cutting point is this one, E16. Let's move on to the upper right. Where's the cutting point? Well, it should be pretty obvious. It should be Q17, right? If we place a white stone here, then we have a crosscut. And in this pattern, it is especially harsh because white already has a nice pattern here and black only has 2 stones. So by cutting here, white is attacking both of these black stones. And in this scenario, at least one of these stones will likely die. Now let's move on to the lower left. I already marked the cutting point with a triangle, right? If we place a white stone here, then we see a crosscut point. However, if white places here, then the next thing black can do is to capture this white stone, meaning that black has set something up to protect this cutting point, and that is called a tiger's mouth, like this. This is called a tiger's mouth because if white places here, then black can capture it immediately. Of course, you can observe that this is a cutting point that black can play to form a crosscut. But as we'll soon learn, white can capture this stone very easily. So the takeaway for this little pattern is the tiger's mouth. And let's move on to the lower right. We see another tiger's mouth here. So this cutting point is ruled out for white. If white places here, then black can immediately capture this white stone. So this is not a cutting point. So where is the cutting point in this pattern? Well, we can say white has one here. That works. But the most salient one is this one for black, because black, by playing here, can capture this white stone. And actually, a lot of the answers to our problems with capture is the cutting point, because by cutting your opponent's pieces into separate groups, it is much easier to attack and capture. And that is why I'm teaching you the crosscut first. Thank you for watching.